You know, one thing that's rarely mentioned in gardening books is that most compost just sits on top of the soil, while honestly, the real action is happening several inches below it. The majority of microbial activity that actually feeds plant roots lives in the root zone, not up on the surface. When compost is spread like mulch, nutrients do slowly move downward, but the microbes themselves often struggle to penetrate dense or compacted soil. That's why, well, many experienced growers have quietly adopted a different method, injecting liquid compost directly into the soil profile, right where roots and microbes actually interact. This isn't a gimmick and it isn't new. Market gardeners and orchard growers have used variations of this approach for decades. Instead of waiting months for compost to break down and migrate through the soil, they deliver a concentrated microbial solution directly into the ground. The result is faster biological activation, deeper root stimulation, and a noticeable change in soil texture in just a couple of weeks. The moment I started delivering microbes below the surface, everything changed. The first time liquid compost was injected into a raised bed, the difference became obvious within 10 days. Soil that had been slightly crusted on the surface began to loosen. Earthworms appeared in areas where they had been scarce. More importantly, plant growth accelerated in a way that traditional top dressing rarely achieves. The reason is simple. When compost microbes are introduced several inches deep, they immediately enter the root feeding zone. Instead of gradually filtering downward through dry soil layers, bacteria and fungi start interacting with roots right away. Roots release sugars and compounds known as exudates, and microbes feed on those substances. In return, the microbes release nutrients that plants can absorb instantly. It becomes a living exchange rather than a slow decomposition process. This is also where kitchen scraps quietly become one of the most powerful soil tools. Before getting into the injection method itself, it's important to mention where the liquid compost actually comes from. A reliable microbial brew starts with fermented kitchen scraps, rather than raw waste thrown into a pile. That fermentation process concentrates microbes and breaks down organic material into a form that dissolves easily in water. This is exactly why many serious gardeners now use contained fermentation bins instead of open compost piles for their kitchen scraps. Systems like the EPICA Countertop Compost bin and the VEVOR Compost bin allow scraps to ferment without odor while producing highly active organic material. Both of these bins work extremely well for building the base material needed to create liquid compost. They keep smells contained, speed up decomposition, and produce scraps that are already partially broken down and microbially active. The links for those bins are in the description if anyone wants to look at them. Using them also helps support this channel, so more guides like this can keep coming out. And if deeper tutorials on soil biology and composting are useful, the email list in the description shares additional methods that don't always fit into a single video. Liquid compost is essentially microbial soup for soil. Once fermented scraps are available, turning them into liquid compost is straightforward. A small amount of that fermented material, about 1 cup, is placed into a 5-gallon bucket of dechlorinated water. If tap water contains chlorine, letting it sit overnight allows the chlorine to dissipate so it won't harm the microbial population. From there, the mixture is gently stirred and left to sit for roughly 24 hours. During this time, microbes multiply and disperse through the water. Some growers aerate the mixture with an aquarium pump, but for most backyard gardens, a simple steep works surprisingly well. After a day, the liquid takes on a slightly earthy smell, similar to forest soil after rain. That's a sign microbial activity is high. This is the solution that eventually gets injected into the soil. Injecting compost sounds complicated, but it's actually very simple. The word injection makes the process sound technical, but the reality is much simpler. The goal is simply to get the liquid several inches below the surface where roots are actively feeding. A basic garden soil injector, bulb planter, or even a narrow piece of PVC pipe can do the job. Small holes are made in the soil, roughly 6 to 8 inches deep, spaced about 1 foot apart across a raised bed or garden row. Then the liquid compost is slowly poured into those holes. In a 4 by 8 raised bed, roughly 2 gallons of liquid compost distributed across 10 to 12 injection points is enough to activate the soil biology throughout the entire bed. After application, the holes are lightly covered with soil or mulch to keep moisture from evaporating. Within a week, microbial activity begins spreading through the surrounding soil. What happens underground during the first 2 weeks? Well, the most noticeable change during the first 14 days is increased soil aggregation. Soil particles begin clumping together into crumb-like structures rather than remaining compacted. This happens because microbes release sticky compounds known as polysaccharides, which bind soil particles together. This crumb structure is extremely important. It improves drainage while also holding moisture, allowing plant roots to breathe while still accessing water. Another change happens with fungal networks. When compost microbes are injected deeper into soil, fungal hyphae begin spreading through root zones much faster. These microscopic filaments act like nutrient highways, moving minerals toward plant roots. Many gardeners notice that beds treated this way begin holding moisture longer while still draining properly after heavy watering. The plants themselves often respond faster than expected. Leaf growth usually increases first. Plants begin producing slightly darker foliage, which indicates improved nitrogen cycling. Instead of nitrogen sitting locked inside organic matter on the surface, microbes are converting it into plant-available forms right where roots can access it. Root development is another change that becomes, pretty obvious during transplanting or harvesting. Plants grown in soil that receive liquid compost injections often show thicker root clusters and longer feeder roots. Tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and leafy greens all respond particularly well to this method. Even crops grown in raised beds with mediocre soil can recover quickly once microbial life is reintroduced directly into the root zone. This method also works surprisingly well alongside hydroponic systems. Although hydroponics doesn't use soil, the same microbial concepts still apply. Some growers add extremely diluted compost extracts to organic hydroponic reservoirs. The goal is not to create sludge inside the system, but instead to introduce beneficial microbes that help break down organic nutrients. In these systems, the dilution ratio becomes important. A tablespoon of liquid compost per gallon of water is usually enough. That small amount introduces microbial diversity without clogging pumps or tubing. The key is filtration. Any liquid compost used in hydroponics should be strained through cloth or a fine mesh before being added to a reservoir. The biggest mistake gardeners make with compost is believing more is always better. One of the most misleading ideas in gardening is that dumping large quantities of compost onto soil automatically improves it. In reality, too much compost can sometimes create overly rich soil that holds excess moisture or disrupts nutrient balance. Liquid compost injection avoids that problem because it introduces microbes rather than large volumes of organic matter. Microbes regulate nutrient cycling naturally, preventing the imbalances that sometimes occur with heavy compost applications. This approach focuses on activating soil biology rather than burying the ground under layers of organic material. The real goal is building soil that keeps improving every season. Once soil microbial life is active, each growing season becomes easier. Organic matter decomposes faster, nutrients cycle more efficiently, and plants develop stronger root systems capable of accessing minerals deeper underground. Liquid compost injection is not meant to replace traditional composting or mulching. It simply accelerates the process by jump-starting the biology where it matters most. Many gardeners repeat the process 2 or 3 times per growing season, usually once at planting, again during peak growth, and sometimes a third time before flowering crops like tomatoes or peppers begin setting fruit. Over time, the soil becomes, darker, looser, and far more resilient during those dry spells. The bigger lesson here is that soil biology matters more than fertilizer. Plants don't actually feed on compost the way many people think. Instead, they feed on the nutrients that microbes release during decomposition. That means the real job of a gardener isn't just adding organic matter, it's actually supporting the microbial ecosystem that processes it. Injecting liquid compost simply speeds up that ecosystem, and when microbes thrive, plants thrive. And when soil becomes biologically active, the garden starts producing better food with less effort. If practical techniques like this are useful and you want more deep dive guides on soil building, composting, and regenerative gardening, subscribe to Hydrohaven, and honestly, share this video with someone who cares about growing real food. The best gardens are built by people who understand the living system beneath their feet.